Yeah, hi, my name is Michael Royals, and I'm CEO and President of Thrivent Health. We're a new biotech startup. Thrivent's core purpose is to strengthen the underlying bond between the health and welfare of animals and that of humans, actually. That's kind of the overriding purpose. And we're doing that through developing a new form of animal birth control for global public health markets. Yeah, let's see. So Thrivent Health is a startup biotech company, and the technology comes out of the lab of Terry Nutt at Colorado State University, and we've in-licensed the intellectual property. And our purpose is to strengthen the connection between human health and animal health, and that's really the core of what we're doing.
Okay. And the bottom line in terms of animals, what?
Yeah, so it turns out that surgery to prevent unwanted animal litters is a luxury of wealthy nations. And 84% of the world does not have access to companion animal veterinarians or that kind of a surgery, so they suffer from animal overpopulation, specifically dog overpopulation. And we're working to develop a tool and instrument so that countries, organizations, and governments can actually humanely manage those animal populations. Yeah, so it turns out, so the global estimate of the number of dogs that are living, breeding, and dying on the streets is 500 million animals. India, it turns out, is the global epicenter of that, and along with that comes the huge public health burden with having that many animals on the street. Yep.
How big a problem is that in the US?
You know, it's funny. The problem doesn't seem to have socioeconomic boundaries. In the U.S., we have mechanisms to sort of sweep those dogs off the street, and of course they end up in animal shelters. And it turns out that about 50% of the dogs that come through the U.S. animal shelters never make it out, so they're actually euthanized. So just because we're a wealthy nation doesn't mean we're immune to the problem. So the product profile for what we're trying to develop is, our goal is to have this be fit for purpose for emerging market needs. I'm going to stop there for a second with that alarm going off. So what we're trying to develop is, first of all, there is no alternative today anywhere in the world for surgery with respect to controlling unwanted animal litters. In most of the world where there are few veterinarians, countries actually resort to round up and kill campaigns. So we're trying to develop an alternative to that actually works with dog biology and is able to become a global standard for care for animal population management. And really what that comes down to is we're developing a product that we want to have be single use, so a single dose, and that is permanent and works in males and female animals. Those are the three big goals. Wayne Pacelle, who is the president and CEO of the Humane Society of the United States, wrote a book last year called The Humane Society. And in it, he talked about a chemical contraceptive such as what we're trying to develop. And he said that it would be one of the great innovations in the field of animal welfare with worldwide applications and dramatic benefits. So those are his words, not mine. And that's certainly something that we aspire to become.
And what stage are you at this point with the development?
Yep. So the technology has been in development for about 15 years, actually, on the bench in the laboratory, and we've actually put it through 6 different species now. Dogs, cats, rats, mice, sheep, and deer. And it is on the cusp of actually going to a formal development cycle. So development in this case means controlled studies that will be compiled into a regulatory dossier for approval with national regulatory agencies like the FDA.
Okay. And what kind of time frame would that take, do you think?
It's about a 4-year cycle. Yeah, so from the time that we were beginning the formal development process until the time that we have regulatory approval in our first country will be about 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. And acknowledgements, I mean, this is the tangible thing, and you've just won an award.
Yeah, so Thrivent Health was started about a year ago, and when we arrived here in Portland, Maine from Colorado, I was completely detached from the business community here, and they have a program through Maine Center for Entrepreneurial Development called Top Gun, and Top Gun is a competitive program where they enroll companies that have entrepreneurial prospect, I guess is a good word. And so after a 4-month program and successive sort of rounds of pitches, we came out on top of that. And so I think there were 44 companies in this particular cycle. And yeah, so we won, which was brilliant. And the benefit for us was that it connected me with the business community, and it was kind of regional validation for our business model and what we're trying to do. Right now, our biggest challenge is finding mission-aligned investors that want to see their money affect durable, meaningful change in how the world manages animal overpopulation. So I'm looking for sources of that funding, and connecting with that kind of funding is one of my current challenges. Yeah.
So are you looking for investors that are kind of concerned about the humanity and also concerned about bottom line of their investment?
Yeah, of course. So the double bottom line investors would be ideal. We of course need patient capital because of the nature of the business that we're in. Drug development takes time and money. But we're also looking for organizations and individuals that care a lot about what we're doing, that are mission aligned.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Let's pick up on that piece.
Yeah.
If you start off with a statement about double bottom line.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you want me to just repeat that?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, sure. So we're looking for investors that care about a double bottom line. We certainly anticipate that this will be a very profitable product, as most pharmaceuticals are that are in the marketplace. But importantly, we want them to be to care about what we're doing, to care about the dogs, and care about the intersection of human health with the animal welfare, and putting all that together.
Okay.
So.
Are you at the point now where you're raising money? You're looking for investment right now?
Yep. I'm actively looking for the first seed round, and collectively we'll need around $10 million to make it the regulatory approval and into our first markets.
Okay.
Yep.
And is that?
Yes, absolutely. We have on a secure website. We have all of the investor documents that they would probably wish to see, for to start, at least start the discussion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you raised anything at this point?
To this point, it's been friends and family and founders. Yep.
And how optimistic are you?
I should say, let me add to that. I have written and been awarded several grants from the Maine Technology Institute, and so that certainly has helped our progress. Well, as I mentioned earlier, sort of the global epicenter of the dog overpopulation problem, and therefore the human rabies problem, is India. And there are very high net worth families in India, and I'm in discussions with several of them. And this could ultimately be sort of a legacy investment for these families, where having them participate in this could make a profound difference. Firstly, in their own country, and further downstream on a much more global basis. Yeah.
Okay. You as an entrepreneur, what are you? You're a scientist, you're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, you're a risk taker?
It takes all of that, doesn't it? Yeah. This particular product, this company, in tackling such a large problem globally, is straight down the center line of what I'm trained to do and what I'm prepared to do. Yeah.
What attracted you to this as a scientist and a person, your connection with the animals?
Yep. Well, let's see. My background is in product development. It's in global health, and as a veterinarian, with let's see, collectively all together. I sort of lost my train of thought there. That's all right.
I was just asking how.
Yeah.
Just defining yourself, really.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is just kind of a perfect alignment of what I've been formally trained to do, and what my business background has trained me in, and what my product development background has trained me in. So it's an intersection of public health and human health, and it's actually a thing called One Health, and One Health really derives from interventions that make a difference in both animal health and human health, and so I choose to operate in that space.
How do you feel about the kind of dichotomy, or maybe actually contradiction, maybe even hypocrisy, between millions and millions of Facebook posts of cute dogs and stuff, and then the fact that society is generally not particularly motivated to do something about the scale of a problem like this.
Yeah. I think part of so first of all, our society, Western societies, I think, do a tremendous amount put in a tremendous amount of effort to solving, quote, their local problems. But it's essentially nothing to solve a global problem, to solve the problem on a global scale. And part of the reason is it's a much bigger problem than they are individually, or that their individual dollars could make a difference towards coming up with a solution for, honestly. And so what we're trying to do through development of this drug is to develop a tool that will lower the barriers for success, honestly. If we can substitute a technical team, veterinarians, technicians, drugs, sterile instruments, with a single injection that costs about 3% of what it costs to spay and neuter an animal here in the United States, that would be profound. It would go a long way towards sort of enabling countries to solve their problems of dog overpopulation. And I could say also, it's not just about dogs. This works in multiple mammal species, so it could be used in zoo medicine, it could be used in wildlife control. There are multiple places that it could have a pretty profound impact.